Video number 2 on choosing a godparent. Wanted to continue about how you, as the godchild, uh, have to take responsibility, and it's not always the godparents. It can be, right? It the godparent, the one who says yes, I will be your godparent, is taking on a sacred responsibility to guide you, okay, to be an example of Orisha morality, tradition, right? So, to demonstrate good character, right? So these are responsibilities that any godparent takes, right? Takes on. So there's certain things that are implied that we expect from any godparent, right? But when I tell the uninitiated, the aleyo, to take responsibility, right? I previously spoke on observing, right? I'll tell you right now, choosing a godparent because they're a good person is one of the best things you can do, right? If a person has a good heart and has good ache, right? If the santo, if the Orisha blesses anything that person's hands touches, it's a great thing, and can oftentimes be even more valuable than somebody who knows lots, right? Of course, the best scenario is the person has ache, right? What we call fresh hands, and they know a lot, right? But when I say take responsibility, it's important that you've taken your time, you've observed the person, and you take some responsibility in knowing what you're getting into, right? So if this person was fine for you because they have a good heart, because you know that you're gonna get along with, and things are gonna be great, and you can grow old together as godparent and godchild, right? The person doesn't necessarily, and you think this person doesn't necessarily know tons, and you're okay with that to get initiated. 3 years down the road, don't split with your godparent because she's not teaching you or he's not teaching you, right? You kind of knew that going in, that they weren't going to be teaching full university courses on the subject, right? So it's one thing if a person deceived you into making you think that they were something they're not. But if you took your time and you observed, and they made no claims, then take responsibility. For example, me, I don't have perfect rhythm, right? I'm an oriate, but I don't have perfect rhythm. Why am I talking about rhythm? Well, because if a godchild came to me and wanted Orisha, but also wanted to become a singer, right? An akpong. The problem is that I can teach them the lyrics. I can give them basic rhythmic instruction, but if they ever wanted to sing at a bembe, at a tambol, I would not be qualified to teach them, right? That on that particular subject, and I'm okay with that. And then I would have to be willing to say, hey, I give you my blessing to find a teacher in that realm, right? For that item, right? I can't think that I'm the one that's going to teach all things, and and if a godchild were to say to me, well, since you can't teach me this, I'm leaving, I thought you can teach me everything. Well, then, no. Right? Now that's your fault. You made an assumption that I was an expert in rhythm when I never made the claim. Right? You never saw me singing at a tambor. You never saw me, claiming to be a master singer. So, yes, of course, I'm an oriate. I do a lot of singing, but not necessarily that precise rhythm of a musician, right? That's a certain expertise, right? So I'm using that as an example. So, if it was good for you at first, now it's different. when they make a claim and somebody deceives you into letting you believe that they're something that they aren't, that's a different issue. But if you knew at first, or if you had your chance to find out and investigate, or just to ask, hey, are you good at rhythm? Hey, do you know a lot of songs? Hey, are you a good cowrie diviner? Do you throw cowries or not? How good are you in ritual? How good do you know about patakis? Are you a teacher, a ritualist, right? There are a lot of very good padrinos, a lot of good godfathers that if they don't know, they're happy to say, hey, stick close to me because I have a lot of rituals, so you can always hear the Oriate singing, and you can learn the songs from him. From there, even you could even train with the Oriate if he'll take you as a student, and then you have both relationships, and that's okay as long as there's honesty, okay. But as the aleyo, as the uninitiated, or as the new godchild, right, you have to take some of that responsibility, okay. Like I said in the last video, everybody puts their best face forward. So, but you have to look out also for those character flaws that may become problematic later. We all have character flaws. Nobody's perfect, But if somebody's, you think that they're kind of shady, don't say, oh well, I've already put 6 months into coming to their house. I have no choice. I have to initiate with this person. No, if you think that the person is shady, don't do it. Right? But if you think the person is shady, and you did something with them anyway, don't complain tomorrow when they did something to you. Right? And this is common sense stuff, right? This is common sense. See, unlike bigger churches, and we don't have this. We don't have like this board that chooses who can and who can't become priest, and who punishes people when they do the wrong thing. We don't have that. So you have to, in a way, right? You go to a synagogue, you go to a rabbi. You assume that that these people, that the rabbi, at some point was authorized by other rabbis, and so that they can lead a congregation. And if they do something wrong, that congregation and his, whatever council authorized, or use priest, I'm more familiar with that, to discipline or reprimand, right? We don't have that. So that means you have to take a little bit more of that on to you, right? Don't be afraid to ask, questions directly to your godparent, right? Be respectful of the questions you ask. Don't be demanding, right? If you're going to be demanding, it's like, who are you, right? If you approach somebody with respect, they should be more than willing to answer you with respect, right? And I think that's one of the most important things, respect, right? My next piece of advice would be, remember that if you're new to this is a tradition and a culture, right? Please understand that the people who have been practitioners for a long time belong to that tradition and a culture, and if you're new,